Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. It's hard to imagine this not being a fun game to watch. It's the Saints going up against the Chargers. So with kickoff straight ahead, we'll check in with our broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
America's finest city on about as fine a Sunday afternoon as you're ever going to see. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the New Orleans Saints and the San Diego Chargers. Hi, everybody. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Charger club entering play here. They come in off a good win on the road, and now they hit the home opener at 1-0.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they come off a good win in the opener on the road, and they get a second road game here.
Yeah, the schedule makers didn't really do them any favors, but if they can win here and get to 2-0 on the road, they could be well set up for the rest of the year.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
And the dreaded face mask penalty, that's going to cost him 15 yards.
And it's such a dangerous play. Body going one way, and then your head gets yanked back the other. 15 yards is the right call.
They come up with one back. That's Ingram. They'll look to throw here on first down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the first round, they expect you to play right away. And the community's eyes and fan base, they'll be on you the entire way.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. It's complete to Flaner. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46.
Okay, when the big guy runs a corner route, you're asking a lot no matter who's covering him. Doesn't matter whether it's a linebacker or a defensive back.
Yep.
He usually has the advantage because of his body type.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. And the former Heisman winner, this is Mark Ingram. And he's going to be met at about the 43. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
Looking to throw. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean that's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college. With all the spread offenses, not very many pro style where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25. Denzel Perryman there to bring him down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Five yards left for the offense. It's 2nd down. Again, they'll run with Ingram. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
It's been a 7-play opening drive, and this is 3rd and short. Now a handoff here to his running back. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. Now is the field goal unit for New Orleans. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. So it's our visitors who make the first dent in the scoreboard as they get 3 here on the initial drive of the ball game.
Yeah, it's hard to say who actually won that opening drive. On the one hand, anytime you can come in as a road team and get an early lead, you're going to be thrilled. But at the same time, to have the ball as deep in enemy territory as they did and come away with only 3, that's got to be a little bit of a disappointment.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Charger offense making their way out. And they will be led out by a man in his sophomore campaign as the quarterback. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And that's complete to the right side. It's Allen. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And incomplete to open things up. And one of the guys to watch out for out of this group is the man on the outside, Keenan Allen.
His versatility, able to play outside the numbers, come back inside to the slot. In any case, you've got to find ways to get him the ball.
Second down now after the incompletion. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up third down.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, third and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
New Orleans adding some depth to the secondary. They've got 6 DBs out there now for third. On play action, they'll throw. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Cameron Jordan in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
Here's Drew Kaiser now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. Returnable here from the 38. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. So here are the Saints now with great starting field position. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller. It's Mark Ingram. And he's brought down. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
I thought guys that were over 30 weren't supposed to run the football this well in the National Football League. How about that veteran leadership? A big-time run combined with some nice blocking by his offensive line, showing that the ins and outs of being a veteran still has his place in this league. His odometer is not totally turned over yet.
They go play action here on first down. Backing up. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. The headshots here are the offensive unit. And what about Brandon Cooks?
If he's not a 1,000-yard receiver every year he's healthy in the league, I'll be surprised. Came out of college wanting to be a pro, studied all the best receivers in the NFL before he even got to the league.
Second down, Ingram. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Fresh set of downs here. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Their big-bodied receiver, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints add on to their lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
No going for two. They'll kick the point after. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. A drive there of just 4 plays. And the gadget play gets him into the end zone. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. The Chargers offense gets set. They head back onto the field. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They'll come out in the pistol. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Gun now on 3rd down. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. They come up in an offset eye. They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Time to tighten up the seatbelt just a little bit, partner, because that was a safety that crashed in there and made that play behind the line of scrimmage. How about that pursuit?
Offense needs something here on 2nd down. It is 2nd and long. At the end of 1, 10-zip our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Head & Shoulders. Shoulders were made for greatness, not dandruff.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
All right, here we go.
Now back to throw. They go screen. This is Ingram. And some space here. And he's brought down after a good gain. A very solid gain of 27.
And that was a beautifully executed screen pass. They let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front, completed the pass beautifully. So now you've got all that open space with big guys leading the way.
They come up in an offset eye.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They run from the pistol with Ingram. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
Play clock winding down. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. It's caught left side by Cooks. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And a nice pitch.
Both of them read how much yardage they needed, figured what they had to do, and were able to beat the man coverage for the completion.
And the offense lining up 1st and 10.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Looking to throw. And that'll be incomplete.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
Now a handoff to Ingram. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
3rd and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
An expecting pass. They'll need to get the play off quickly. They'll look to throw here. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He made his first attempt, this from 45. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So it's a 7-play drive, but it stalls out in the end.
Let's credit the defensive front 7. They were a little leaky at the start of the drive, but they stiffened toward the end.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. Again, we'll see the pistol here. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
First down, he'll drop to throw. Throws left side, complete to Keenan Allen. A gain of 6 there on first.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
He'll look to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They come out here in the eye. And they give this time to the tailback. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Across the formation, he's got a man. That's Allen. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line. A gain of 32 that time.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
In the red zone this time. they'll go on the ground. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Chargers have made this a one-score game.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice.
They do.
Stephen Hauschko for the point after. And that'll make it 13-7. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it was finished by the touchdown run from the 15. Now after the touchdown, Drew Kaiser to boot it away. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. They come up with one back. That's Ingram. And they'll give it to him here. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Two yards to go here on 3rd down. They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Two minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to San Diego after this timeout.
That's what I do.
A reminder coming up at halftime. Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando with our halftime report, but business to take care of before that. To throw here on first down. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 26 yards on the pickup there. And it'll be first down, Saints. And they're going to speed things up here. They're going to look to throw. Left side and caught by Flainer. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20 at the 15. 18 yards on the pickup there. And that leads to a New Orleans first down.
Coach is always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
They come up with one back. That's Ingram. And he'll get it up the middle. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Ingram again. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
Looking to throw. His throw caught right around the 6. Now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. All right, so the timeout over and all 11. Men back out onto the field for the defense. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. This an easy one, 23-yarder. And his kick is indeed good, and that will make this a 9-point lead. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
Not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though this offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And now San Diego getting set to go. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have...
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So the offense has it 1st and 10. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And here the hook up good to Victor Cruz. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Out on the right, this is Cruz. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Here we go with 2nd and 7. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Back to throw again. He's got his man Cruz. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top. As we send you across the country to Orlando, standing by there, Larry Ridley with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon. I'm Larry Ridley, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. The Chargers are credited because they showed last week they can pass the ball very well. So let's take a look at the highlights from the first half. Third down from the 12. They're going to get to the QB once again. This will go for a loss of 8. Saints have it at the 27. The pass will be completed into coverage, and a quick 3-play drive ends with a score, pushing the lead to 10. Moving to late in the first quarter, with plenty of pressure this half and another sack. This ends up as a huge loss in yardage. Chargers have it midway through the second. He'll break free of the pack, and he'd go in for the 15-yard touchdown. Deficit shrinks to 6. So that'll do it from Orlando. Let's get you back on over to San Diego as we rejoin Brandon and Charles.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. We get a look at the Saints defense as they file into position. They had a pretty solid first half. Not many adjustments, but I guess there's probably always some adjustments that can be made.
Usually it's just tightened down on the things we've worked on all week in practice. Everyone thinks adjustments are bringing in something absolutely new. For the most part, it's tweaks or just emphasizing what you've worked on already. And that's what they're planning to do here in the second half.
They won't be looking to reinvent the wheel. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he powers his way up past the 30.
Well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
4 yards remaining now on second down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And the D looking like they may blitz. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, are usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Reggie Ragland coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Out to the right here to Wilson. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's Drew Kaiser now, as he's on to punt for San Diego. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this will be taken at the 13. Great blocking, nearly sprung in there. 28-yard return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Give them 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
They come up in an offset eye. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. It's caught left side by Cooks. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing. And they got it done.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
They'll look to throw. This will be caught inside the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
throw. And he's got it. So the try for two successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. So they're able to throw it in for the two-point conversion. Sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense. That's 2 points for them, but he identified an open target and put it right on him.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So out come the Chargers. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And it's caught over the middle. Wilson. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
They'll look to throw. And that's complete to the right side. It's Allen. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. To throw now on first down. He's got Wilson, middle of the field. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Second down, just 1 yard to go.
What's left? All right, here we go. 3-19.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1 yard gain. See if they stay on the ground for second down. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. And defensively going with a dime set, 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. Here's Drew Kaiser now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. And we shift our attention to Mark Ingram. After some early struggles running the ball, they've really picked it up. Early it just seemed like there were no holes there. Now all of a sudden the holes seem to be there. I don't know if that's just my imagination.
And give them credit that they kept their confidence. Because sometimes when you get stuffed big in the running game early, especially for an entire half, it really makes you retreat a little bit, but not this group. They always have the confidence. If they just get their assignments down, they get in sync with their runners, and off they went.
They'll come out in the pistol. The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Let's just go ahead and go back through that play with his eyes, because he's got to read his keys. Run or pass right off the top. You're probably going to read an offensive lineman to see if he sets up in pass protection, if he fires out for a running play. The next thing is you're going to check and see what the back's going to do. And if he ends up with the football, okay, now you got to check and see. Does an offensive lineman come downfield and try and block you? Are you going to try to elude him? Are you going to take him on and hold your spot? What are you going to do? In this case, didn't have to do any of that. Saw all of his keys, saw the play in front of him, and ran clean to the ball carrier and finished off the play.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10.
Here we go. 3-19.
The play clock's running down. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we're back now in Mission Valley and San Diego. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the 4th. Here's Thomas Morstead now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. Here's Allen. He won't go down. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. And now San Diego getting set to go. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
One receiver left. That's Allen.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. His throw incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Hunter Henry. And it's 2nd down.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight right. Tight right. 3 out. Let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw again. And he comes back with one complete. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Another pistol look here. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He's got time in the pocket. Out to the right here to Wilson. And he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up second down.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. And some extras coming up on the line here, readying for the blitz. Back to throw again. Hunter Henry brings it in. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
There's a good push to the tight end, and I think they were looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands. Speed.
I mean, can flat-out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. One receiver left, that's Allen.
All right, here we go.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Out on the right, this is Cruz. That throw good for 4. It's second down. And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. And the evidence shows last week's game, it's really leaked into a second game now, Charles. What do you think of this?
And it's a surprise, isn't it? Because when we spent time watching them practice, talking with the coaches, they felt like a bounce back was going to happen this week. They were very confident in the game plan, thought the defenses they would see would present great opportunities for big-time runs. We're not getting that so far. I don't know if this is a game plan or if they're just being overwhelmed by the defense they're facing.
Back to throw here. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and that will close the gap down to 14. All right, so it's getting late in this one. Now, you could argue that they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but they still face a pretty uphill battle.
Yeah, even with the field goal here, it's going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns now to get back in it, and that's going to be a tall order against this defense.
Following the field goal on is the punter, Drew Kaiser, to kick it off. This will be taken in at the 1. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They come up with one back. That's Ingram. He's going to get the football. Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that, plus 3.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They're going to look to throw. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. And you really can't pin that one on the quarterback, Charles. The O-line, they've got to protect better.
And they know it. That's their meal ticket. They want to take care of the big guy. Behind them, in this case, they let him down.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They come up with one back. That's Ingram. He'll get the football here. And he'll get nothing out of that one. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
One thing that's really difficult for an offense is often identifying how to block a 3-4 defense. Well, when they're coming on a blitz, even more difficult. They're elusive targets and hard to hit.
Here's Thomas Morstead now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. Returnable now for Allen. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. And now San Diego getting set to go. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder. It puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. It looked like he might have had a window there, but the rhythm was just a little bit off.
It certainly was, because everything that has to come together to get a pass completed, yeah, you're right, the sync just wasn't there.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And right side, Henry's got it. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
To throw here on 1st down. And to the left side here, Wilson. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage. And that's exactly what he got done there.
Zone now. They'll look to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Yeah, they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation. Seventh play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. 7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it. And that'll fall incomplete.
3rd down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
The Saints coming out now to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Now Ingram, he's been busy today. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. And now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Second down following the run. They'll give it to him right up the gut. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Accelerating, and off he goes. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Saints add on to their lead. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score it. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And now San Diego getting set to go. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And Coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
They go back to the air here after the INT. Throwing right, and that's complete. It's a big one there for the Chargers. 45 yards.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or two in the middle of the field. If you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a changeup in baseball. You show your other stuff, throw the changeup, and on that play, it worked for big yardage.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Let's go. All right, now, look at 56. Look at 50.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Complete. Hunter Henry with a grab. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up first and goal. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. Victor Cruz, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Chargers are able to close the gap just a bit.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
And the lead will be cut down to 14. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And it ends with a San Diego score. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it in. And now the Chargers are going to signal for another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. We got 4. We got 4. All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. The Saints in victory formation now as they'll take the knee. So out comes the field goal team once more. This to make it a 3-score game late. And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Delay of game, offense.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted. It's spotted at the 14-yard line. One receiver left, 3 to the right. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And this looks to probably be the final play.
Chips over here. That's overload. Overload.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And this is dropped it incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this one is gone as time has run out on this ball game. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is, because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
So for New Orleans, it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2 early road games. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for San Diego, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll get a home date next week against the Kansas City Chiefs. So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from San Diego.